Hello, my good people. It's Bridget back again from It's Your Time channel. I just want to invite you, if you found anything on my channel, any of these videos helpful, please feel free to like, share, or subscribe. We're going to move on today a little bit further in our Capricorn journal, and I find that I don't care what I pick up, what I decide to talk about from this, I can always tie it into something that's happened in my life. It actually is from, let's see, it's from a company that's called Inside Then Out. Okay, just in case you want to buy one for yourself. But today I decided to talk about, our last episode was about how you feel most powerful. Where can you feel the most powerful? Today I want to talk about where can you relax more in life. And I chose that because it ties right into what we spoke about in the last episode. I talked about spiritual practice and setting yourself up for the day. It's for empowerment, just to kind of take that time out, whether it be breath work, meditation, prayer, journaling, reading, listening to music. And that is where I feel the most powerful, but that also gives me the most peace. That little piece in the beginning of the day. And I say the beginning of the day because what you start your day doing will help you to replicate those feelings throughout the day. If you start like in a stir and all, oh my gosh, upended and running, a lot of times you'll find yourself running throughout the rest of the day. It kind of sets the tone for the day. So I am a chaser of peace. I need peace in my life. Like I shared with you before, I've been a ICU nurse for the last 34 years. And all of that angst and all of that, I save that for work. I don't want that in my life, in my everyday life, or, when I'm not at work. I save that for the code when I need that adrenaline rush. There's got to be times of peace because your nervous system has to be able to settle down and rest at different times during the day. So the peace that I get from having that time to just be unplugged is paramount. It is priceless. And I'm telling you, I've talked to different people and listened to different people about, how to start your day and what you should do. And I don't care how you start it, but I will say that a trick to it, and this is hard right now because everything is on our phones, right? But I find that if I do not pick up my phone and I don't look at text messages, emails, any notifications, and just go right into my practice of the day, my prayer, meditation, whatever book I'm reading at the time, maybe there's a couple of minutes that I spend, reading that book, letting it speak to me, kind of like applying it, maybe journaling about that. I find that if I pick up the phone and I even take a call, and that seems really drastic because you're like, what? I mean, there's life, but there's only life in helping people if you help yourself first. When you get on the plane, what do they tell you? If you're sitting next to a child and they talk about the oxygen mask, put your mask on first before you help the person beside you or the child beside you. And that's because if you don't take care of you, you can't help that person. So that is why I am a huge advocate for not getting on your phone, not letting anything steal that first few minutes of the day from you. You need that. You need that to stay grounded. You need that to be ready. You need that for rest, to get yourself set up for how to receive the day, whether whatever the challenges are going to be. I mean, life is going to happen, right? We can make choices on how to live our life, the things that we allow in our life, people, things, events. We have, a certain amount of control over that, but you definitely have to get yourself set up for the things you have to deal with, right? Family issues, and I don't mean issues like problems, but just everyday family, taking care of your family, being part of a family, being, present in a conversation, whether it be with your mate, your children, we need to be at our best, right? Just to handle everyday life. Going to the grocery store, being in the parking lot, dealing with people, pulling out in front of you, or people walking through the aisles with, with abandon, recklessness, or there's just so many things that even if you're having a okay day, a regular non-stressful day, there's still a lot that we can get from that few minutes of downtime, that few minutes of seeking peace before our day. I wanted to share with you an example of what I meant by preparing yourself for the day. I remember being at work one day and dealing with a pretty sick patient, and the family was there. There was a lot going on, and the family, usually when people are sick, a lot of times it's a little bit easier to take care of the patient than it is the family, because the family, they're very anxious. They're by the bedside. They're watching things, seeing things, not understanding everything, trying to get a grasp, trying to feel like they are a part of the team. They want to know what they can do, how they can help. They also want to tell you what they think that you should be doing, or what they've heard on ChatGPT, or what they've Googled, and all of that. So it can be really, really tumultuous, intense in an intensive care room. One particular day, I had spent a long time, taking care of the patient as well, doing all the tasks of the patient, monitoring them, making sure that they were moving ahead in their journey of healing. But the family needed a lot that day. Different family members were coming in, and you could feel it. I mean, you could feel the angst and the the fear. And I was thinking, this has been a lot. And I went out and I took a break, and other people had they knew, because this was a particularly hard case. They knew some of the things that had been going on there, because they had taken care of the patient on other days. And they're like, "How you doing? You seem like you're doing all right. My gosh, it seems like there's a lot going on. How are you managing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. We're just moving through. We're addressing issues as they come. I'm answering questions as I go. I'm giving, I'm front loading the family with, this. I'm doing something, that needs my full attention right now for the next 15 minutes. I can't answer questions right now, but when I'm done, I'll be able to do that." And they were okay. I could still feel like, they're waiting for the 15 minutes. They're waiting for me to, like, seem like I was done. And even they were like, "It's been such a pleasure working with you today, and we know that it's been a lot. We know that we're a lot. We're a big family." And they just went, how did you manage? How did you do this? You didn't seem to miss a beat. You didn't seem to, ever be agitated or overwhelmed. You come in here with a smile on your face, and you're happy and you're positive." And that was amazing, because I was like, it's because I got my tank full. I got my tank full before I went in, and you never know what you're going to get, in the realm of nursing. Just because people are sick, you just don't know. But just in life, whether you're a nurse or not, you never know what you're going to get. You don't know what's going to be standing outside the door, what's going to be on the other side of the phone, what so-and-so is going to bring home when they come in, the kids, the partner, whatever. So I just want to, encourage you, be equipped, be ready. We don't have time to do a lot of backpedaling and wishing that we had to have done things differently, wishing you to, oh God, I wish I had this, this strength now. And God is there in the quick minutes too. He's there, God, this is a lot for me, help me to get through this, help me to do better. But it's just so much nicer to have your tank full in the beginning. So I encourage the daily time with yourself, the daily time with God, however that works for you. One of my resources that I use as well is called Every Day I Pray with Inyana Van Zant. And this prayer for peace in difficult tasks I wanted to share with you. She says, "Dear God, please remind me that I can do anything for a little while. I can do repetitive chores. I can do unpleasant things. I can do difficult tasks surrounded by difficult people under the most unpleasant circumstances. I can do all of the things that I have convinced myself that I am afraid to do. Please remind me that I can do anything for a little while. I can feel uncomfortable. I can feel inadequate, unworthy, ill-equipped, and still move forward in a positive direction until I feel better." And I thought that was amazing because sometimes we feel like that. It's like, I don't know, this is a lot. This is a lot. I don't feel like I have it today. But, reach out. God, please, I need you. I need you now. And I like how she ends this particular insert. She says, please, God, remind me that I can do anything for a little while. And while I am doing all that has been given to me to do, remind me to give you praise for the ability to do anything at all. Now, that's key for me as a nurse. I go in, and even, we have lives, we have families, we have things that are pulling our energy as well, even, outside of work. But it helps when I remember that at least I have the ability. I'm on the standing side of the bed. I tell people that all the time. They're like, how you doing? I'm like, even on days that I'm like, whew, I'm hanging on with my fingernails, right? I tell them that I am blessed to be on the standing side of the bed. I'm not in the bed. I have movement. I can get up and do things for myself. I can take myself to the bathroom. I can eat, drink at my will. So yeah, for those of you medical professionals or people that are taking care of someone, maybe you're not being paid to do it. Maybe you're a family member, or a friend. Take that time out for yourself. Make sure that your tank is full, and be grateful in the small things in your life that will help you get through some of the bigger things that you might encounter. Again, Bridget, this is Bridget from It's Your Time. If you found this helpful, please like, share, subscribe, and remember my great other half in this endeavor, John Winters, my editing man. He is fabulous. If you ever need any tips, tricks, or help with your channel or something, that you're doing that, you find that you run into gridlock with the technical things, I'll drop his information in the link below. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Until the next time.